President Trump is in real danger right now. And I feel that it needs to be said. He's in danger not just politically, I mean real physical danger. And it's not because he's necessarily doing anything wrong. It's because he's refusing to play the globalist game. Right now, the world stands at the edge of two massive wars, NATO versus Russia, pushed by the transatlantic EU leadership, and Israel versus Iran, pushed by Israel itself. And what's Trump doing? He's standing back. He's not escalating. He's not feeding the war machine. He's not playing into the forever war narrative either. And that right there, that's the threat. Because when you walk away from war, you don't just walk away from bullets, you walk away from billions for defense contractors, foreign lobbyists, globalist bankers, deep state operators. They all thrive when the bombs drop and the chaos spreads. And when you're the one who refuses to play along, you don't get applause, you get a target on your back. Let's be honest. Israel is preparing for full-scale conflict with Iran. Trump isn't jumping in. So far, he's not giving them a blank check or sending American troops. And the EU, they don't even have an army. They don't even have a flag that unites the people in the streets. So instead, they manufacture a propaganda convincing each citizen that war is inevitable and that Russia is coming for them. That escalation is the only answer. Trump isn't buying it. He's pushing for peace. By the way, the last time American troops defended Europe, over 200,000 of them never returned. This all creates tension, it creates pressure, and not everyone handles that quietly. Some believe America owes them automatic support. Some see neutrality as betrayal, and some just don't care who dies as long as the machine keeps turning. And that's what makes this moment so dangerous. Trump is not surrounded by loyalty either. He doesn't have the Pentagon behind him. We've already seen that. He certainly doesn't have the intelligence community behind him. And half the time, he barely has his own party behind him. But still, he's standing, still pushing for diplomacy, still refusing to sell out the American people by not sending their sons and daughters to war. And that's exactly why, in my opinion, the threat is very real, because they've already tried everything. They've destroyed his reputation. They've banned him from every platform. They've raided his home. They've indicted him 4 times. They've even tried to take him out twice. And if he's still standing after all that, then what's next? We know how the system works. We've seen what it does to anyone who says no. So if you support peace, if you want out of the endless wars, if you believe in America's right to lead, but not bleed for foreign agendas, then now is the time to pay attention. Because when the one man standing against war becomes the problem, they won't stop until he's gone, politically or otherwise. And if that happens, God help us all.
It's looking like TikTok might just be saved after all. All of this is coming out this morning after there were clickbait headlines basically taking what Donald Trump said out of context yesterday, that he might have to let TikTok die. He was basically saying, I want to save TikTok for all of these young people, but we might have to let it die. So it seemed like he was unsure exactly what was going to happen. Now this morning, he just posted on Truth Social and said the big trade meeting in Europe between the United States of America and China has gone very well. It will be concluding shortly. A deal was also reached on a certain company that young people in our country very much wanted to save. They will be very happy. Now, he says he's going to talk to the Chinese president on Friday, but we do know that his extension runs out on Wednesday, September 17th. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to see Donald Trump probably sign another extension while they have time getting all this paperwork to finalize this deal done. Because on the paperwork side of things, I'm sure it's going to take a little bit of time. And I'm assuming we will have for sure confirmation on this within the coming days. Even though he says certain company, but we know this is exactly how Donald Trump talks about TikTok, the app that is very popular with all of these young people. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
TikTok is now threatening to ban my account with 600,000 plus followers over the allegation that I spread misinformation about the tragedy involving Charlie Kirk this week in Utah. Now, I'm not silly. I was very careful about how I chose my words in the video videos that I made when I was covering this incident, so it's clear to me that the effort to silence me is an effort to silence a conversation that is being had outside of the pre-programmed scripts of the mainstream media. The questions that we have asked and the lies that we have exposed have been viewed by millions and millions of people, so much so to the point that world leaders have had to address the things that we are saying, albeit they have not done a good job of addressing our concerns. As someone who's been banned from various platforms before, including YouTube, Venmo, PayPal, WhatsApp, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and many others, this is nothing new to me. The reason why we are being targeted is not because we're saying crazy things. If we were saying crazy things, the powers that be would not be threatened by us. The reason why is because we are simply putting forward the truth, and a lot of people don't like that. I love the fact that Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Harrison Smith, Cernovich, The Gray Zone, and many others have come forward over the past few days to expose the fact that there was a deep and dangerous struggle for the truth that was ongoing behind the scenes being led by Charlie Kirk, and I am going to continue the plight for truth that Charlie was leading by trying my best, despite the best efforts of the censor, to get that truth to all of you. Thank you so much for the support, and be sure to follow me on Twitter, where you will find minute-by-minute updates on the biggest breaking news stories of the day, including the events that are unfolding right now as a result of the tragedy this week in Utah.
Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So I think it's very wrong for anyone to make such full comments over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So you guys saw this other guy saying that TikTok is trying to eliminate his account that has over 600,000 views because he make a hot that he was accused of making hateful comments about Charlie Kirk. Yeah, allegedly. Like, I don't know how true is this, but if definitely he did that, I think he is not supposed to do that, because this man we are talking about was, like, to me, he was so loving. Yeah, he was so loving and so accommodating, right? Because a lot of us has been watching him, and some of us has benefit one or two things from him, from his teaching. And for the fact that this guy unalive him, leaving him helplessly, and is really so painful. Like, each time I think about him, guys, I feel so horrible. But nevertheless, may the God be the judge of all. So guys, welcome back again to my channel. So watch the remaining clip of this video and let me know what you think about them in the comment section.
Breaking fuck the news, a lot of shit's happened overnight. Donald Trump is suggesting that he could federalize DC so he could send more guard units in, because the mayor said that DC police will no longer cooperate with ICE. That's a whole shit show. Also, it has been discovered that Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, has a donation button on Charlie Kirk's website, so people who are late on their Dodge Ram truck payments can donate to her cause and her husband's. They have also dropped merchandise already. I heard a man say, when they took our leaders, we didn't force it on them. But when one of their leaders was taken, they force it on you. And if you don't like it, you got to get the fuck out. Now, mind you, I've seen a lot of people be put on a shirt, but to drop merch this quick? Damn.
Smart people don't like me, and they don't like what we talk about, but he's become radicalized. So many things have been learned about him so quickly. He's become totally radicalized and crazy, and it must have been traumatic because the parents are conservative people, supposed to be very nice people, living in Utah, and the father turns in the son. Boy, that's a tough deal. I actually asked somebody in the FBI, how often does that happen, where knowing even the guilt that a father will turn in or parents will turn in the son? And he said, almost never.
Donald Trump's economy is so bad that he sees it and he's trying to hide it from the American people. Now, as you know, Donald Trump just recently fired the chief of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he didn't like the jobs reports that were coming out. He's also tried to put blame on the Fed for not lowering interest rates. Well, now he has a new way of trying to hide the numbers, as he has announced this. Subject to SEC approval, companies and corporations should no longer be forced to report on a quarterly basis, but rather a 6-month basis. This will save money and allow managers to focus on properly running their companies. No, the goal here is to try to hide that companies are losing money, that they're bleeding revenue. Donald Trump wants to hide that. We've always wondered, what would Donald Trump do in a bad economy? Both cases, with Obama and with Biden, he inherited a strong economy. But this time he's destroyed it. And what is he doing? He's just trying to hide it and gaslight the American people. He's hoping he can run out the clock and maybe things will turn.
I need my allies to understand that the reason that they were ready for war as soon as that man dropped is because they were already planning for war. If you've read Project 2025, this is no surprise to you. If you're aware of Germany's history, this is no surprise to you. They had to have an inciting moment, and the machine was already up, ready to go when it came. This was the thing that was going to justify martial law, taking away your rights to pew-pews, free speech, which is why so many people got fired for saying what they believed. They didn't necessarily know who it was going to be, but they knew there was going to be a point in time where there was going to be someone who could be the poster boy, the cause. This, by the way, is the reason that we heard so much about the white woman that got on the transit, but they had nothing to say when the black person got on the transit. This is why they don't care about Melissa Hortman, because it's not about the principle of free speech. It's not about the idea that we're resorting to violence. It's about taking the opportunity to make someone the standard, the symbol that galvanized all of MAGA, all the Republicans, and quite frankly, all of the white community against everything that's on the left. That's why Trump was the first person to deliver the news before the local police or anyone else, because the information had to come from the top down. They knew exactly who that boy was before they lied to us. They knew what was really on those books, and they knew what his ideology was really about. You've heard me talk about the fact that we're in this position in America because we never properly punished the Confederacy after the Civil War. So the work of anti-racism and allyship going forward is reminding these people every single day that they tried to start a war over a lie, so that no one forgets, so that we're all on the same page and we all remember and we're all clear what they're ready to do. They haven't de-escalated. There's no ceasefire here. They're just waiting for the next event. We still need to be vigilant and be on high alert because they're just waiting for something else to go off and use the opportunity. You have your assignment.
The end of the line for our beloved Donald Trump. And this time, the blow didn't come from Congress or a political rival, it came from where he least expected it, the armed forces. General Randy George, Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army, went on nationwide television and gave a speech that stunned the country. Plain and simple, he said the president is a direct threat to national security. He's not just a fading politician, he's an active risk to our institutions and to the stability of the country, the general declared. General George accused him of sabotaging the interests of the working class, favoring billionaires through shady military contracts, and weakening the armed forces from within. While soldiers struggled with what little they had, he and his allies were diverting public resources for their own gain, the general said. According to him, there is evidence the president broke laws, colluded with foreign powers, and compromised classified strategies. And then he dropped the bomb. That man must be removed from office immediately. Finally, he said all the evidence is already in the FBI's hands. He betrayed his country.
All right, so a lot of developing news today, September the 14th, 2025, as we are hearing that there are Russian nuclear bombers in air, World War III warnings coming out in the past couple of hours from U.S. members of Congress, not just members of NATO. And we're hearing that the entire world is preparing for global conflict. Let me share with you the latest headlines coming out in about the past 48 hours so you can see it for yourself. This one coming out in just the past 4 hours today, September the 14th, 2025. Representative McCall says that he's going to be retiring, but the GOP hawk also worries about World War III after the Russian escalation that is currently taking place. Now, in addition to that, take a look at this. Putin has deployed nuclear bombers in World War III games, this in the last 24 hours. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are we going to be going to World War III? If so, put WW3 in the comments. If no, put no. Let me know your thoughts. But let's keep going with these headlines that have been coming out. Putin deploys his strategic nuclear bombers as the UN warns the world it is staring into the abyss of World War III, and the UK prepares to help NATO fortify its eastern front against Russian attack. We are hearing that things are escalating significantly in the past couple of days. Take a look. Putin's forces, they are practicing nuclear weapons use plan as NATO tensions soar. So just to clarify, we are hearing that at this time, in the last 48 hours, Russia is currently doing nuclear weapons drills as they're planning for tensions to soar with NATO. Now, this all started with that Russia-Ukraine war. Is there any prospect of ending Russia's war with Ukraine? Now, we had heard Donald Trump say he was going to put an end to the war within 24 hours of becoming the president, and now he has come out just in the past 24 hours, vocalized on Fox News, that this is way more complicated than he initially thought. Putin is very difficult to work with, and he is getting ready to ramp up sanctions to try to see if he can put pressure on Russia to put an end to this war. And take a look. Poland and Romania both now are scrambling jets as NATO ally records new Russian drone violation. I'll let you know, yesterday we had heard September the 13th, Poland was scrambling its jets. NATO was preparing. Now Romania also. And take a look. Russia tried to test NATO with dud drones, says Poland. Poland is saying this was no mistake. Russia is testing us to see if we are going to be responding if they attack us, to expand the war into Poland. And take a look. Russia and Belarus launched military exercise that fueled Western concern. And right now we are hearing that sides are being drawn. The United States, NATO.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know what are your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this whole video under the comment section, and I'm just going to be right there waiting for you guys to read all your comments. And don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel in case you haven't subscribed already. So what do you guys think about that man that said that TikTok is trying to ban his account because he make some speech about Charlie Cake? Yeah, to me, I really do think that it's wrong for anyone to make jest of him. It's wrong for anyone to uh to celebrate his assassination. Yeah, it's so wrong, because it was so quite unfortunate that I saw a lot of people rejoicing over his dismiss. Oh my goodness, these people forgot that this world is not even a permanent place for anyone, and you are rejoicing over somebody else who was assassinated. It's quite unsuccessful. So guys, watch the remaining clip and let me know what